Good morning, KU. I'm Grace.
And I'm Evan. And it is Tuesday, and we are still reeling from the events of this past Friday night. Of course, everyone's still talking about it. We had Late Night in the Fog, which I think was a great night.
No, I had so much fun. Did you end up camping for that?
I actually didn't. I did get tickets from someone, but my friends, I was in a camping group. This week I didn't camp, but there was a lot of people camping. Did you camp?
Yeah, I did not end up camping either,
Gotcha.
so I was pretty far in the back. How close were you to all the Snoop Dogg action?
Well, I was actually sitting not in the student section. I was kind of in the center court section with a few friends. So we were there, so we had a view of everything, but it was intense, but it was awesome.
Yes. No, me and my friends had so much fun, and we really enjoyed Snoop Dogg's performance as opposed to some of the general public of Lawrence. But
I thought it was one of the greatest concerts I have ever been to. It was really enjoyable.
He was quite the performer. He had a lot of energy. He just
put
was
on a
having
good
so
show.
much fun. He was really being himself. He was being authentically himself. And what else can we ask for from Snoop Dogg?
I mean,
right.
What
else can KU
It would have been a
ask for?
controversy if he didn't have any of the things he brought. Because it's Snoop Dogg. What do you expect? That's what comes with it. But I know a lot of people don't have the same reactions as us.
Unfortunately not. I think, as students, as young college kids, we can kind of appreciate performances like that, and we can, think it's funny and joke around with it. But I do acknowledge that, some of the more family-oriented crowds were maybe a little offended by Snoop Dogg's performance.
Yeah. So we had obviously we had the basketball scrimmages, and then they cleared the court, and then we were all sitting there, and then looks like Snoop Dogg's graphics were put on the big screen and everything, and then of course you saw the polls rolled out, and so everyone was like, okay, all right. And so you had the polls.
And our dude, Bill Self, actually had to walk around those polls.
Yes, he came out and introduced Snoop Dogg, but you had the polls, and then you had the acrobatic dancers walking out. So they came out, and that was whatever. And
it
then
definitely, it was a foreshadow for the events to come.
Yeah, so everyone was like, okay, raised eyebrows a little bit, and then of course the concert happened. He put on a good show. He's a great performer, but a lot of people didn't have the same. After the concert, the crowd was wild during the concert, let me say, and then after the concert, kind of is when the news started to break.
Right, Twitter blew up. I know. I enjoyed seeing all the different Twitter memes.
Memes, people ranting, people praising, all the Barstool mentions and all over.
Right. And as Bill Self said, bad publicity is better than no publicity.
He did say that at the beginning of the show, which is kind of ironic. But he did have a press conference after where
he said that he actually didn't have knowledge of the raunchiness of the performance, which is a little hard to believe.
I mean, I get what he means. He said he thought it was going to be radio edited. Obviously, it wasn't. But yesterday was media day for the women's basketball, and of course, head coach Brandon Schneider was remarking on that. He was asked about late night performance of Snoop Dogg and the controversy that it created. After hearing the question, he politely declined to answer.
Wow.
Well, I appreciate you being here today, but to me, this is Women's Basketball Media Day. It's really the only kickoff to our season, and I'll answer any questions that have to do with our student athletes and our upcoming season, but really don't have any comments, about that beyond it.
So, not much comment from him. I know Bill Self had a little more to say about that. He just once again talked about how it was supposed to be radio edited, and he wasn't expecting that. Of course, that's not what he said anyone in the athletic department would want to happen, but I know the athletic director Jeff Long did have this similar kind of thing to say.
And he did put out a formal apology about everything, and also kind of had a similar view to Bill Self, and the fact that he said that they did not understand exactly what acrobatic dancers was implying there. So, I mean, what can you do? It happened.
I mean, you could have just done a Google search of Snoop Dogg and you would have seen what comes with it. You would have thought someone did that, but it just puts into question the future of late night events. I know people are talking about how, I did read an article where Bill Self originally this year wanted something, a country type singer like Darius Rucker or whatever. Obviously that didn't happen, but the future of late night.
And obviously this is only my second Late Night in the Fog as a KU student, but I know in the past it's been very rapper heavy. So it will be very interesting to see what happens next year. Is it going to be another rapper? as that trend has continued, or are they going to bring in someone a little more PG, like a country artist?
You don't know, and especially
know?
if they do decide to bring on someone more PG, will the fan base go down? Will they not see as much? I mean,
That's interesting. Yeah, I definitely think, the main audience of Late Night Out of the Fog is obviously college kids. So I definitely think they want more of a rapper-based artist. But
Right.
obviously, after this year's events, that definitely could change.
It did. It was all. This story is grabbing national attention. It was on the Daily Mail, covered it. I did see an international article about it.
Yes.
So it's just shocking that we had the NCAA drama
Oh, yes.
last week and still obviously present the rest of this year, and in the future it will be, and now we have this. So it's just like, our name's getting out there, but
Right,
like you
rock
said,
chalk.
good publicity or
Bad publicity is better than
is
no publicity.
exactly. So it's like, what can you do?
Yes. What can you do?
All
right, guys.
yeah.
Well, thanks for talking to us and listening to what we have to say. We're going to actually take a little break, and we're going to hit you with some news updates.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Hey, and welcome back to Good Morning KU. I'm Matt Mitchie, and today we have special guest Steve Rottinghaus. He's a KU Career and Outreach Coordinator, and Steve is here today to talk about the upcoming Career Fair. So, Steve, if you could just give us a brief explanation, what is the KU Career Fair?
It's getting close. We're a couple of weeks away, but the Career Fair is just an opportunity for our students regardless of major or what school you belong to connect with like 30 organizations from Kansas City, Topeka, Wichita. We even have one coming from Dallas, just to learn about what they're looking for internships, job opportunities, and you actually have a chance to connect with them, and they can even review a resume.
That sounds great. What kind of things do we have to do to be prepared for the Career Fair?
Definitely do some research on the companies that are going to be there. You can check our website at journalism.ku.edu. We have a list of the companies that will be back for the Career Fair. So definitely do some research, update that resume. You can come into my office. I'm at Stauffer Flint, room 120. You can email it to me, you can drop it off, but definitely have that resume ready. Kind of have that elevator speech ready too, kind of that 30-second, like here's my name, my major, my career interest, and just be prepared to have that conversation with a lot of companies.
Sure, and I understand that this year the Career Fair is going to be a little bit different, especially for journalism students. Is that correct?
It is. We have combined our J-School Generations, which is our premier alumni event, with the Career Fair. So what's going to happen is we're going to have 20 alums from all over the country. We got them coming from Atlanta, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, Dallas, Chicago. They're going to be on campus all day talking to classes. They're actually going to be at the Career Fair doing some networking, provide some just on-the-job tips, and then we're going to do some networking events afterwards just to get to know the alums better, kind of in a casual setting so you don't feel so much pressure.
Sure, and I know that me personally and a lot of my friends, something that we're always looking forward to is opportunities to network. And so I understand that this will be a really good opportunity to get out and meet some people in a career and maybe learn a little bit more about their job and get some opportunities to discuss further options.
Yeah, definitely. Every year when we do J-School Generations, the common feedback we get is we want more networking opportunities. So really throughout the day on the 24th, there's like 3 different times. I mean, at the Career Fair, in the classroom, and there's actually lunch from 12 to 1. Students are invited. There is pre-registration for the lunch, but not the Career Fair. So if you want to join us for lunch, again, interact with some alums and professionals, it's a great opportunity. It's all going to be at the Adams Alumni Center across from the Kansas Union. That's a new location for us this year. But yeah, networking's a big thing. I mean, just getting to have that conversation, learn more about what they're looking for, and that can go a long way in helping find that internship and job.
Mm-hmm. And beyond just networking and going to the Career Fair, I'm a senior, and I'm not entirely sure what all of the steps forward are from here on out. So what advice do you have for seniors that are looking forward to their career, towards internships?
The companies are prepared to have those conversations with you. I mean, even if you don't know exactly what you want to do, they can share what opportunities they have at their place of location. Yeah, so don't feel like you have to know what you're going to do just to show up, because you can learn more about what they're looking for in, kind of the workforce, what skills they want you to develop. I do always encourage students, to dress up like this could lead to an interview. I'm not the most stylish guy, but something like a tie, collared shirt looks great on men. Women, if you have a business suit or just a blouse, nice slacks, that looks great. I don't want to see students showing up in pajama bottoms or just like they roll out of bed. Because, yeah, you want to make that good first impression because the employers are making notes and like, hey, this might be a person we need to follow up with.
Do you have any other general advice for someone who might not know exactly where they want to go or what they want to do, but just general advice for where you might be able to find information about that or anywhere they want to head after college?
Yeah, again, our website has links to the organizations, or you can go to the organizations' websites too, because a lot of times they'll have the job openings posted, the internships posted, so that's a great resource to check out. I also like to encourage students, like have at least 10 to 12 resumes. You probably won't have time to visit all 30 organizations, but hopefully there's like 4 or 5 you can really connect with, have meaningful conversations. Always recommend students do that. It is 1 to 4. Don't feel like you have to be there the entire time for the career fair. If you can devote at least 1 hour, I think it's worth your time where, again, you can have those conversations where it's just more than, drop off a resume and keep moving on. Because the best thing about it is, again, to create that dialogue, get to know what they're looking for, and then you can kind of learn more about maybe what you want to do.
And what do you think is the #1 tip for students who aren't exactly sure which field they want to go into? Do you think that they should just talk to as many people as possible, or?
Yeah, I think definitely talk to as many people as possible. Find out what they're looking for. If they have like a job description of some job openings, pay attention to like what they're looking for and see if you have those skills, and maybe you can develop those skills over time before you graduate. So again, I think the main thing is just kind of be aware of what they're looking for. Don't be afraid to have conversations with them. The companies are prepared to talk to you. It's not like they're going to hire you on the spot, but it definitely can lead to future employment or internships.
All right, and is there any other kind of information about the career fair you feel like you need to talk about or anything like that?
Again, with the resumes, if you have like a professional looking padfolio, I think that's a nice touch point where they can see that and it looks super professional. But again, just be upbeat, try to connect with as many people as you can, have meaningful conversations, and everything should be okay.
All right, and just to make sure that our people at home watching this know all the details, when exactly is it again?
October 24th is J-School Generations and the Career Fair. Again, you can join us for lunch 12 to 1, and it's at the Adams Alumni Center, and then 1 to 4 is a Career Fair portion of it. And then one thing I didn't mention is on the 25th, we're having this Adobe Creative Jam, where we're actually competing against K-State, where we're registering students. Adobe's going to give us a creative challenge, and then students, have all day to prepare, and there's actually prize money. So that kind of concludes the entire J-School Generations, but that's a big component of it, and alums will be there too to network and consult in any way.
All right, sounds great. Well, thank you for your time, Steve, and we'll be back after this with the news.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
I'm Jasper.
And I'm Reese, and this is your Tuesday Morning KU Good Morning KU News Update. The lawyer of the first whistleblower who came out with accusations against President Donald Trump says he is now representing a second whistleblower regarding the same issues. Attorney Mark Zed says the second source also works in the intelligence community. He claims that this source has firsthand knowledge that supports the claim made by the first source. This comes as House Democrats continue their impeachment inquiry by issuing a subpoena to the White House requesting documents from Vice President Mike Pence.
Police have arrested a suspect in connection to a bar shooting in Kansas City, Kansas that left 4 people dead and 5 injured early Sunday morning. Officers were called to the Tequila KC bar at around 1:30 a.m. where they found the 4 victims inside. All 4 victims were identified as Hispanic males. The 5 surviving victims were taken to area hospitals listed as stable later Sunday morning. Police are currently searching for the other suspect.
3 more vending machine break-ins on campus have campus police actively investigating the method of operation. According to the UDK, nearly 10 break-ins have occurred in the past week, causing at least $3,000 worth of damage. The Kansan also reported similar strings of crimes in both 2017 and 2014. Campus police ask you to report anything suspicious to their non-emergency number.
KU Chancellor Doug Girard told the Lawrence Journal-World yesterday that he believes the new California law allowing students to be paid will have unintended consequences. He said that he expects other states to pass similar laws, but that legislation is not always the best way to manage a problem.
Former KU athletes Nick Collison and Tammy Thomas-Ammons officially joined the Kansas Sports Hall of Fame this weekend. Collison played basketball at KU from 1999 to 2003 and was a consensus All-American his senior year. He went on to play 15 years in the NBA. Thomas-Ammons was a two-time NCAA swimming champion in 1983 and represented the U.S. in numerous world championships in the 1980s.
The football team is off this week, and head coach Les Miles took the opportunity to appoint a new offensive coordinator. Quarterbacks coach Brent Dearman will be taking over the entire offense when KU travels to Texas in 2 weeks to take on the Longhorns. Prior to coming to KU in January, Dearman coached at Bethel University, and before that he was at Arkansas Tech and at Auburn.
And this has been your Good Morning KU News Update. Please keep watching, and after the break, we'll get a weather update from Good Evening KU's Adrian Campa.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Hello and welcome back to Good Evening KU. I'm Adrian Campa here with your weather forecast. Now taking a look at current weather, right now we have a temperature of 70 degrees. It's really nice and sunny out with light winds. Overall beautiful fall conditions. Now for this evening from 6 to 9 p.m., we're going to keep these conditions around. Temperatures should fall to around 54 degrees at 9 p.m., but our winds will stay light only from the south at 3 miles an hour. So overall a very nice evening. If you have any outdoor activities planned, it's going to be beautiful out. Now for tonight, we're expecting a low temperature of 44 degrees, clear skies and light winds again. Overall, another beautiful night expected. Now for tomorrow, high of 72 degrees, sunny and windy. We'll have winds from the south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles an hour, and that's because we're expecting our next storm system to be pushing in a couple of days. So that's going to allow for some more warming and stronger winds from the south. Now this is that next storm system I was talking about. Thursday into Thursday night, we're expecting a very strong, this cold front will be pushing through, pretty strong one, and you can see from this map, we are right here, the little Jayhawk, and this is a wind chill map. So we're expecting wind chills in the low 30s, below freezing, potentially in the upper 20s, and you can see from this map that really all of Kansas is going to see below average temperatures, their wind chills, especially for western Kansas where they're going to have wind chills in the single digits. So it's not just us here in Lawrence that's going to experience a big cool down, but the entire state as a whole. So I hope you're ready for this big cool down coming because we're going from fall straight to winter. Now that can be seen in our extended forecast. Tomorrow high of 72, Wednesday again 72, but then Thursday that strong cold front is going to push through our area. That's going to give us some good chances for thunderstorms. 60% chance right now, but it's likely going to go up. And if you take a look at the temperature on Friday, we're going to go from 78 degrees on Thursday to 48 degrees on Friday. 50% chance of morning showers. That's going to be left over from behind the front after it passes. And then if you look at the remainder of the weekend, Saturday is going to be 60 degrees and Sunday 62. So we will start to slowly rebound. Friday is going to be the coldest day where our temperatures are the coldest, especially in the morning. We're going to have strong winds. And with the cooler temperatures and the strong winds, that's going to give us that really low wind chill of about 30 degrees or the wind chill in the upper 20s. But we will start to rebound, but if you take a look, our low temperatures in the mornings are going to be in the 30s. So we're going to winter, it looks like. But that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.